Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Marshall Richardson, and this is my video on what kind of leader do I want to be. Actually, a really interesting question. I've led people for about 9 years now. During my time in Army ROTC 2011 to 2013, I've had to lead over 75 different people. Ever since I commissioned in 2013, I've been leading so many different kinds of people in so many different ways and environments, and I'm still trying to figure out. So to answer this question, I will answer the question instead of what kind of leader do I want to grow into. In my opinion, you could say leaders are competent, they're experts. Some are charismatic, some are motivators, some are organized, etc. When I think of that, that's my prototype of a leader. But I also at the same time think that those are kind of cookie cutter dimensions to a leader, and it doesn't really tell you anything about what makes them tick. A lot of books will talk about, you have to be goal setting, you have to be flexible. Are you good at contact or conflict resolution? Are you a goal setter? Again, those are also great points. Leader does need to be those to be effective, but it still doesn't answer what really motivates you at your core in order to be a leader. And at least for me, I have really four defining pillars. I call it myself the farmer model, and I'll go into why these four pillars that are important to me as a leader and what I want to grow into. First pillar being transparency, the second being trustworthiness, leading by example, and then growing into others. And I'll explain how those correlate to what I call the farmer model. In the realm of transparency, a farmer, you always know what the farmer is doing. There's no hiding anything. This can be being open with my agendas, my goals, my interests, my family life, sharing my strengths and weaknesses, not being afraid to admit I have no idea when it comes to something technical or just general knowledge that I don't know. Being willing to receive as much, if not more, communication than I give, always willing to listen and never being one to hide bad news. I feel like when you're transparent, you'll always have an open line of dialogue on any topic to any of your employees at any time. And this helps you stay grounded, involved in their lives, and you're able to better assess them. So that is that pillar. The second pillar, trustworthiness. You can always trust a farmer to do what they signed up to do, farm. That means for me as a leader, having no hidden agendas, working for my employees, getting to know the people, being present, showing my weaknesses, and being willing to learn. I'm willing to give my honest opinions when people ask for them, whether that's blunt or polite, as professional as I can be, or if it's in a personal setting, then non-professional. Not only identifying problems, but offering solutions of what I would do in that person's shoes, not just what's going to be best for them, but being willing to give them the hard truths if that's what they need to hear, and one who's willing to learn everyone's job so that they can trust me to vouch for them when it comes to those meetings. So I feel like when you're placing others' needs above your own, without losing respect for your position, your employees will be willing to go to war with you. So that's how I see trustworthiness. The next one, leading by example. The farmer is the definition of a hard worker. For me as a leader, this means being professional, courteous, optimistic, respectful, presentable, well-spoken, knowing a little about a lot, not a lot about a little. This means building through partnerships, not help me ships. It's a give and take. It's a two-way street in terms of relationships. Being convincing more by my actions than my words. When you lead by example, truly no one can silence you. You can say all these great things, but no one can argue your words. People can argue your words and silence them, but no one can silence your actions. So no matter how much your employees may like or dislike you, they can't refute the effort you put in to be a great leader. So that's why I think leading by example is very important. And then the fourth pillar, growing other leaders. As a farmer, you sow the seeds of your success. So for me as a leader, this means welcoming new members, acknowledging success, developing those who aspire to lead, even if they're not in leadership positions, but you see potential in them. Mentorship, shadowing opportunities, helping other leaders with their problems instead of helping them point fingers, trying to teach others, hey, you'll accept all the responsibility for failure and none of it for success when it comes to your team. Being the one who builds other leaders to work themselves out of a job. And that's your goal as a leader too. You want to be a combat multiplier. Turn your 2 hands into 4, into 8, into 12. That's the kind of leadership I practice, and that's truly the leader I aspire to be. And again, this is Marshall Richardson talking. I call that my farmer model. This has been my video on the kind of leader I want to be.